This image comes from the well-known visual novel Air, or does it? These images are from a separate version of the game that may or may not exist. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, forum culture was significantly more relevant than it is today. It still exists to some extent, but back then it was the main way to meet like-minded people for a topic prior to standardized social medias. You've likely heard the old rumors of random glitches in Pokemon games or gimmicky tricks to obtain a special Pokemon that doesn't exist. These ideas thrived back then due to there being no real authoritative source to back up information. Playground rumors, as you may call it. Finding solid information about these images' origins isn't super easy. A compilation of them resides on this 2007 website. With image searching, you can find information discussing the image's origins from old blogs. Rumor states that a supposed cruel version of Air and Kanon existed. Internet rumor has it that this cruel version of Air was either a separate Dojin game or a patch for the original game. Whether or not it's circulated or not is unknown. The only real evidence of the potential existence of these games lies in the images. However, there are quite a few games that fit similar descriptors that many people associate with the rumor. Air Summer Death, or Summer Solstice, is the first one, likely lumped in due to its use of death in the title and the creators being OSI. OSI created the game Yu-Ga, or also known as the cruel version of Kanon. This cruel Kanon game was also lumped into the rumors as this game has actual cruel elements involved in it. The other rumored games supposed to be the true cruel versions are the games called Air with the text vertically flipped and a game called Kanosu. Both of these games are related but have no relevance to the actual rumored gory, cruel game. Kanosu is just an old Dojin game from early 2000 that has bloody elements in it designed for humor. Air with the text flipped is by the same creator in the same style, but was a cancelled game that was never released. I've only personally completed Cruel Kanon, so that's the one I can speak the most to. It certainly has its cruel elements, but also is quite a goofy game. There's an ending where you get arrested by the police, and an ending where you make love with June. It's definitely a cruel game as the main character is a sadist who forces the characters to do things against their will, but it's not particularly gory in any way. There are, however, some pretty messed up moments in the game as a lot of characters, such as Akiko, are changed to be very sadistic individuals. The other games I have not played to completion, however, they really aren't anything that special. Air Summer Death is just a relatively normal fan Dojin game that just happens to be made by OSI. Kanosu is just a slapstick comedic take on the Kanon story that just happens to have cartoony blood in it. Altogether, I can see why these games were pinned as being the potential true cruel Air games, as they feature esoteric and bloody moments or have names that might imply something cruel or sinister. I do, however, think the history of OSI is slightly interesting. I happen to own another one of their games called Myst. I haven't played it, but the art style is the same as their previous games, and it happens to be an original story, not a fan game. It's one of those stories where a group of kids go to a remote area, and some sort of folklore curse affects them or something. After this game, OSI changed their name to Regrips and released their final game, Himawari. The game still faced issues of people saying it was bad and the UI was bad and bugs, and the company just fell apart. The director of Regrips is rumored to have taken his own life after this. However, I only got that information from one source, so I can't really back that up. In the end, most of the history behind this story has been lost to time. Most likely the original rumor images are just a high-quality Photoshop job. While it's fun to speculate whether or not a true cruel version exists of Air or Kanon, intuition leads me to believe it's simply an old playground rumor from an age of internet that's long gone.
Right, so she's there.